Let's get right into it. Number 7. The Ear Canal Invasion. There are few feelings as satisfyingly forbidden as jamming a Q-tip into your ear canal. It's that little moment of rebellion against every doctor and nagging parent you've ever had. You think you're performing a delicate cleaning operation? A tiny archaeological dig for wax treasures? What you're actually doing is playing a game of biological plinko, and the prize is a trip to the emergency room. Your ear canal is not a straight tunnel. It's a weird, curvy road designed by a drunken city planner. And it's a self-cleaning system. Tiny hairs and skin migration work together to push old wax out, like a slow-motion conveyor belt of grossness. When you shove that cotton-tipped stick in there, you're not cleaning. You're ramming a barricade against the exit. You take all that wax, dust, and dead skin and compact it into a solid wall of biological cement right up against your eardrum. Every time you do it, you're just adding another layer, packing it down tighter like you're loading a musket from the 1700s. In the worst-case scenario, one wrong move, a slight jolt from your cat jumping on the bed, and you've punctured your eardrum. Congratulations, you've basically given your own brain a high five with a sharp object. Your ear is a sophisticated self-cleaning machine, and you're trying to fix it by poking it with a stick. Number 6, the Rice Gambit. Leftover rice. The foundation of 1,000 easy lunches. You pop that Tupperware in the microwave, feeling smug about your meal prep skills. But you might as well be microwaving a tiny starchy grenade. Uncooked rice is often contaminated with the spores of a bacteria called Bacillus cereus. These spores are like microscopic doomsday preppers. They can easily survive the initial cooking process. But when you leave that fluffy cooked rice sitting out at room temperature, it becomes a 5-star resort for them. The spores germinate, multiply, and start producing toxins that are an absolute nightmare for your digestive system. Then you put it in the fridge. The bacteria stop growing, but the toxins they already created are still there, just waiting. Here's the kicker. Microwaving the rice will kill the bacteria, sure, but it won't destroy the heat-stable toxins they've already secreted all over your meal. A couple of hours later, you'll be curled up in a ball, experiencing a level of food poisoning that makes you question all your life choices. So that container of harmless-looking rice isn't a saved meal. It's a Trojan horse for gastrointestinal chaos, and you just happily nuked it and invited it in. Number 5, the head explosion. You're in a dead silent room, maybe a library or a very serious meeting about quarterly reports. Suddenly, you feel it, that telltale tingle in your nose. A sneeze is coming. A big one. But you can't just let it fly. That would be disruptive, impolite, maybe even a biohazard. So you do what any civilized person would. You pinch your nose, clamp your mouth shut, and perform a violent internal convulsion. You just turned your own head into a pressure cooker. A sneeze can exit your body at up to 100 miles per hour. That is a biological explosion designed to violently eject irritants. When you block all the exits, that immense pressure has to go somewhere. It can rupture blood vessels in your eyes, damage your eardrum, and in rare but very real cases, it can cause throat damage or even a brain aneurysm. Your body is trying to execute a high-velocity system purge, and you're basically putting your thumb over the end of a fire hose. The back pressure surges through your sinuses and eustachian tubes, looking for any weak point to escape. You may have saved your coworkers from a light spray of germs, but you did it by playing Russian roulette with your own vascular system. Congratulations, you avoided a minor social faux pas by gambling on a major cerebral event. Number 4, the Porcelain Throne Room. The bathroom used to be a sanctuary, a place for quiet reflection or speed reading the back of a shampoo bottle. Now it's an office, a movie theater, and a social hub, all thanks to your smartphone. You take it in there to scroll through social media, answer emails, or watch videos. You think you're being efficient. What you're actually doing is hosting a germ festival on a device you're about to press against your face. Let's talk about the toilet plume. When you flush, the toilet doesn't just quietly dispose of waste. It erupts, launching a microscopic aerosolized spray of everything in that bowl. We're talking E. coli, norovirus, and other fecal bacteria, up to 6 feet in every direction. This invisible mist settles on every surface: the floor, the sink, the toilet paper roll, and yes, the shiny new phone you're cradling in your hands. You then walk out, maybe give your hands a quick rinse, and proceed to use that phone all day. You hold it while you eat. You press it to your cheek to take a call. You've effectively turned your phone into a biological weapon delivery system. But the germ apocalypse is only half the story. The way you sit on a toilet is not a natural resting position. It puts a specific strain on the veins in your lower rectum. Sitting there for an extended 15-minute scrolling session, instead of the minute or two it should take, dramatically increases that pressure. This is a one-way ticket to Hemorrhoid City. So you're not just catching up on memes. You're marinating your phone in bacteria while simultaneously waging a war of attrition against your own backside. Number 3, the slow-motion collapse. Your ancestors ran from saber-toothed tigers. You run from your bed to your office chair, then to your car seat, then to your couch. We have engineered physical effort out of our lives, and our bodies are staging a quiet, catastrophic protest. Sitting for 8, 10, or 12 hours a day isn't just lazy. It's an active process of self-destruction that doctors have started calling the new smoking. The moment you sit down, a cascade of negative effects begins. Your electrical activity in your leg muscles shuts off. Your calorie burning rate drops to about 1 per minute. The enzymes that help break down fat plummet by 90%. After just 2 hours of sitting, your good cholesterol drops by 20%. Your body basically enters a low-power hibernation mode, except you're awake and stressed about deadlines. This state of metabolic shutdown increases your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and certain types of cancer. And that's just what's happening on the inside. On the outside, your posture is collapsing. Your hip flexors shorten, your glutes essentially forget how to fire, and your spine slumps into a sad C shape, putting immense pressure on your lumbar discs. You're not just sitting, you're training your body to be weak, stiff, and dysfunctional. That expensive ergonomic chair isn't a throne of productivity. It's a plushly upholstered torture device, slowly dismantling your health while you methodically answer emails. It's death by 1,000 ergonomic comforts. Number 2, the sleep debt scam. Our society wears sleep deprivation like a badge of honor. We brag about pulling all-nighters and surviving on 4 hours and a pot of coffee. We treat sleep as a luxury, a subscription service we can cancel when our schedule gets too busy. We think we can accumulate a sleep debt during the week and then just pay it all back on Saturday morning. This is a biological fantasy. Chronic sleep deprivation is like taking out a high-interest loan from a loan shark who will break your kneecaps. When you consistently sleep less than 7 hours, your cognitive function starts to resemble someone who is legally drunk. Your reaction time slows, your judgment is impaired, and your ability to form new memories tanks. Internally, your body goes into crisis mode. Your cortisol levels spike, increasing stress and inflammation. Your immune system weakens, and your risk for everything from a common cold to a heart attack goes up. The brain also performs critical maintenance during deep sleep, flushing out toxins that build up during the day, including beta amyloid, a protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. Skipping sleep is like letting the garbage pile up in your brain for weeks on end. So when you're proudly running on fumes, you're not being productive. You're actively making yourself dumber, sicker, and less efficient, all while accelerating the long-term decay of your own mind. Number 1, the dehydration delusion. Of all the signals your body sends you, thirst is probably the most ancient and the most ignored. We treat it like a gentle suggestion, something to get around to later. We mistake it for hunger, for boredom, for fatigue. The truth is, by the time you actually feel the sensation of thirst, your body is already in a state of dehydration. You're not approaching the danger zone, you're already in it. Even mild dehydration, just a 1 to 2% loss of your body's water, has immediate and devastating effects. Your blood volume decreases, which means your blood thickens. This forces your heart to work harder to pump what is essentially sludge through your veins, leading to fatigue and headaches. Your brain cells literally begin to shrink, impairing your concentration, short-term memory, and mood. You become irritable, foggy, and slow, all because you haven't had a glass of water. Chronically ignoring this fundamental need puts a massive strain on your kidneys, increasing the risk of painful kidney stones and urinary tract infections. You're letting your entire biological machine overheat and grind to a halt, not because the solution is complicated or expensive, but because you were too busy to walk to the faucet. It is the simplest, most fundamental act of self-sabotage you can perform every single day.